Lady Charmaine, and my guest today sings like a bird with her 5-octave range. She's a recording artist and reality star, and she's back today to talk about the second season of the hit franchise of R&B Divas, L.A. Help me welcome Miss CHANTE Moore. How you doing, CHANTE?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good, and welcome back to the show. I'm so glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be back.
Now, you guys have a brand new season, so congratulations on your new season. And I'm telling you, R&B Divas got underway with some little juicy things happening. And so tell me how, and we're going to talk about all of that. So for you, CHANTE, how is this season different from last season for you?
Last season, I think that we all were so brand new to the idea of being taped day to day. So it was something we were a little unfamiliar with. I think this time, all the girls came back with a better understanding of what was going to be required of them and how things kind of flow and what the end product might be. So I think the ladies are more forward thinking with their purpose, and while we shoot, I think they're thinking of the end game rather than just, I wonder what's going to happen. So everybody had like a purpose in mind, which I think was really good.
Now, you have two new divas on the show. We have Leela James. You also have Chrisette Michelle. So I want to say congratulations to them for joining the cast. But you had a great idea, CHANTE, for a song, and I thought it was so cute. I know, right? And so,
yeah.
And you and all the ladies are getting together, and I'm still trying to figure out, in my mind, what the major issue is. It's probably going to play out later on. But in your opinion, why do you think that they had a problem? Because I'm still trying to figure it out.
You know what? It's an interesting thing for me because I love to sing. I don't care. If I love the song and I respect the person, then I'll sing background. I'll sing foreground. I'll sing middle ground. It doesn't matter to me. I really don't have that kind of an ego or perception of what background means. Other people might, and then they might have a good reason for it, but for me, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I would never ask anybody to do anything they wouldn't want to do, first of all. And then second of all, I wouldn't ask anybody to sing background or do anything I wouldn't be willing to do for them. So in this case, I asked them to sing that part of the song first. They were going to have their ad-libs, which they did do, which they did not show much of. They did show Chrisette's part, but they did exactly what I asked them to do, which was to sing, I know, right, all that, and then do, don't you hate it when you, whatever, and then this happens, and then they're dun, 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 dun. That was their story. I wanted them to add on it. I never asked them to sing a verse. I asked them to be a part of the song and put their story on, which was what they did in the end, but they didn't show it. But nonetheless, somehow I offended the ladies, and that certainly was not my intention. It just seems like it's been nitpicked so much that all the real point was just, do you want to be a part of the song or not? And I really did give them that option to say not. And they chose to do it, and then I took them off because in the end it just didn't work. So I don't know. It's a whole lot about nothing.
Okay, because I was really trying to figure that out. I knew they were in counseling,
honey.
So I wanted to ask you when you came on the show. Can you help me out with this one? Okay,
I'm trying to help myself out. I don't get it.
Okay,
and it's okay.
So we're on the same page. So how is your relationship with the ladies now?
It's okay. You know, I didn't join, and it's funny because I get a little flack from them, I think, or people who think that we join these things to become friends. Friendships are earned. Trust is earned. It takes one day at a time, one conversation at a time to build a relationship with someone. And just because you're on a show doesn't mean you're going to be friends. We have an end game. The end game of the show is to do the Puerto Rican anthem for Puerto Rico. So that's what we signed up for, is to do another season of R&B Divas. Yes, it's reality. Yes, it's a show. It's work. We're signed up to do it. We're going to do it from this point to that point. Real stuff happens in the middle of that, and yes, we could build a friendship within it. But you have to have integrity, and you have to have kindness, and you have to make sure that you represent yourself to be who you are. And I think a lot of the time, we get in those situations and we think, I don't know, if they assumed we were just going to be friends because we're thrown into the situation. But I need somebody with integrity to be in my life. I don't require new friends. I have really good friends in my life who I love and I trust, and they love and they trust me. And in this situation, I wasn't as comfortable all the time, but a lot was going on in my life. My brother had just passed. And my mother's anniversary of my mother's death was also in that time period. I also found out within the time of taping that I had 2 more broken discs in my neck that I had an epidural during the show, but I can't stop for surgery. So I'm in a lot of pain during the show and emotional pain during the show, and there's a lot going on. And then the things that we're talking about are they're somewhat petty, just a smidge there. Mm-hmm. So I didn't want to be involved in a haggle about whether or not you're going to sing background on this song or not. I'm a solo artist. If no one sings on my song, it's okay. I didn't pull these ladies' names out of a hat. I didn't go searching them out over the universe and scrolling the universe trying to find Chrisette, Leela, and Little Mo. I picked them because they were on my show with me. They're on the show, not my show. It's not mine. It's theirs as well. But that was why I asked them to be on it, because they're in the show with us. So for Mo to say, I wanted to use their names, no, we're all on a show together. I'm not using it for anything. But my point is just that throughout the course of a taping, you can build a relationship. You can build friendships, and that would be fine. But it has to happen naturally for me. I'm not going to force a friendship just because we're taping. So.
Wow. I mean, you said it, are some of the ladies offended by the stance that you take that you guys aren't on the show to be friends, or you're not on the show to make friends?
But it's okay if it happens. I think it's a wonderful thing. I do love Mo. I think she's amazing. She's funny. She speaks right off the top of her head, and she's hilarious. She always makes me laugh. Chrisette is very talented. She's very, very, very talented. She writes like it's amazing how fast lyrics come, and she's prolific with it. She's an amazing artist. All of them sing amazingly. I love it. I love it when we get to the singing. And I wish we did more of the singing instead of the talking. Leela's doing really well. Her album is out. It's great. She has a great insight, and her style is so specific, and it's so unique. I love it. She's old school in the new school. I love it. Michelet, of course, she's sweet, and she's going through things, and I love it that she's being shown more this season, that you all can really get to know her as a person, and what her point is in the season is just to really talk about, becoming stronger through trials, and that you get to know Claudette and her funniness, and she's beautiful, yes, but, she has really real good things to talk about. So I think it's wonderful that you get to know each of us in the show. So that's what it's about, is our fans and new fans, people from other people's fan base, get to be intertwined with ours. So I think that's what it's about, is just moving forward in our careers and, yes, getting to know each other. So I don't know. I'm a big girl. I'm a grown woman. I have kids, and both of them are bigger than me. So, to haggle about stuff that I used to talk about when I was in high school, it's just not going to happen for me. So sometimes I'm quiet, because if I don't have anything to say, I don't say anything, and that's okay.
Now, looking at last season to this season, because we know there was a few issues last season with 2 young ladies last season, and then you have this season, with the I Know Right issue. Would you be looking forward to a 3rd season? I'm just asking you personally. Right
now, I'm not looking forward to. No, I don't even want to watch this season. It's and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it was so much tension at times that it's hard for me to watch. Literally, I grit my teeth while I'm watching, and I'm sweating, and it's just sometimes it's really uncomfortable to watch. But I don't know. I make a decision when it gets to it. I'm watching, and hopefully that it ends up in as good a place as I think it could. I was there at my session, the things I taped, I know what I said. But, I watch the show, and I see it when you guys see it. So I'll learn as you do what was said about me as we tape. So
See, now that's my next question. I haven't gotten a chance to ask, and I interview a lot of reality people, but I never asked this question. How is it for you when you are watching the show and now you're watching the interviews back and you get to hear them say certain things about certain people or even yourself? How hard is that to hear that about yourself when you hear how they're really thinking?
Well, it's part of it is it's okay because it doesn't change who I am. An opinion of someone else's opinion about me doesn't change who I am or what I think about me. They can alter what people think about me, but I've been in this industry for a good 20 years plus, and I think my audience knows who I am, and I think they know from last season my character, and that I'm not catty, I'm not petty, I'm not childish, and I'm not going to just lash out for nothing. So I think kindness is most important. I think, being courteous of someone else's feelings. And if you say the truth, but you speak the truth in love, then that's okay. But if you say stuff to try to attack or belittle someone else, I think that speaks of your character. That makes you look bad if it's you that's saying those negative things. So when I'm watching, if someone says something negative, then, to me that makes them look bad, not me.
All right, that's a good way to put it. So now we're going to move on. Are you working on any new projects? I know you're working on your I Know Right single. What can we look forward to after R&B Divas is over this season?
Well, the season is going on, but it already has been taped, so we're all busy doing things that are after what you're going to see. So right now, I'm planning for it's actually my book. It's called Will I Marry Me? And I'm beginning these seminars that I'm going to be doing, and it's not just me teaching, it's me learning from the women that I'm speaking to as well. It's about self-examination. The book is about looking at yourself and saying, you know what, if I stepped outside of myself and looked at just me on paper, would I marry myself? If I see, I don't know how to cook, but I know how to care for someone, or if I'm generous, but I have selfish ways, or whatever it is about yourself. If you put you on paper, would you marry yourself? And it really is about my journey that I'm still on, about learning who I am and watching and looking back, reflecting on who I've been and the choices that I've made in love and choices that I've made as a person, and listening to myself and learning about would I look at me and say, you know what, I need to work on this. I need to work on, becoming true to myself and making choices that are good for me rather than just good for the other person? Or is it just that I'm making decisions about myself that are just good for me and not for the other person? But it's really a book, a self-help book about for women, mostly for women, who will look at themselves and say, what will I promise myself? If I marry me, what would I promise me? Never to compromise and never to belittle myself or allow anyone else to do that. So the book is really, really a place from which I have drawn my life and the things that have happened to me, good and bad. And I share these things with the world. And in seminar form, for the seminars, it's in seminar form. But in the book, it's a book that you can also write your own thoughts and take your journey with me.
Now, why did you feel this was a good time for you to open up?
You know what? I've been writing it for a few years. So, being that I've been married a couple times there, and examining that, really looking at why I married, why I chose who I chose, and looking for love is a funny thing. Looking for someone to, quote unquote, complete you is a really strange thing to look for. It really is something that I've learned that you have to look within yourself to be complete, and then you find someone else to enhance your life. And I'm at a place right now that I've learned quite a bit about myself, and growing up and learning through love and learning through having children and learning through having men in my life, I've learned quite a bit. So I want to share some of that, and I also want to examine some of that so that I learn when I find love the next time that I can make wiser choices.
Wow. So when will the book be available, and when will the seminars start?
Well, Ubiquitous is coming this month. Let me look and make sure I say the exact correct date or before I start making declarations here, and I'll be wrong. But the book will be out within the next 2 months. I don't remember the exact date, but I believe it's the same day as the seminar, and I'm looking it up. I should have had it out because we're doing a live chat right this moment with you, interview. I should have been prepared, and I wasn't. But I'm looking right now. But it'll be very soon. It's in August, and this is 2014. So it'll be very soon. It'll be a workbook, and the regular book will also have a workbook in it. So if you don't want to buy the book and you have the seminar, you can buy the workbook while we're working through the different the seminars. We can also have you work through the workbook with me. So I will definitely be testifying about what has happened in my life.
Amen.
And sharing things out of my journal, because I've kept a journal since I was 12. So I'll be sharing those things with the world as well. So I can't see the exact date, but I believe it is the 13th of August. That's what I think it is. If it's not, please look it up. I'll be posting on it. Actually, as soon as we hang up, I'll do that. I'll post on it. So please look at I am Chante Moore, at I am Chante Moore on Instagram, and at I am Chante Moore on Twitter, and Chante Moore, the fan page, and the regular page on Facebook. So we'll be talking about it. We'll be doing blasts. We'll do some interviews on it. So please check it out. It's going to be pretty cool to have share my life with everybody, because I think that's what this show has done for me, is it made my life more accessible. People can really get to know me more as a person and not just an artist musically, that they can know what I sound like and the goofiness that is within me. And and that I love to have fun. You know, it really is about being open and honest, and that's who I am as a person. I'm really outspoken and willing to reveal my life if it helps somebody get through theirs. So
now, is it an all-day seminar?
It will be 2 days. It won't just be me. Actually, Chrisette Michelle will be a part of this as well. Vicki Irving, who is a motivational speaker, she'll be a part of it as well. There's a few different people. So when I post on it, you'll see it. I'll do it actually deliberately. When I hang up, I'll look for it and I'll post it immediately, so that people can begin to look for it and plan for it if they want to be a part of it. So it'll happen very soon. But please look out for Will I Marry Me? It will be on the shelf soon.
I love that title, Will I Marry Me? See, that makes it real personal, because it makes you look at yourself. It makes you go introspective. You know what I mean?
Yes, and that's what it's about.
Mm-hmm. And I could see that. It's like when you walk out, you're like, oh, no, I wouldn't even marry me. So, you know, there's a few things I need to change. So thank you. That's a great idea. And I thank you for sharing all of that information. And I want to remind everyone to make sure that you watch R&B Divas L.A., airing on Wednesday nights, 10, 9 Central on TV1. You're going to watch all the divas. They're back for the second season. And we want to see how the Puerto Rican anthem ends up in the finale. Thank you so much, Chante. And I definitely look forward to having you back on the show.
Thank you very much. And I also want to remind them that my album is out. It's called More, M-O-O-R-E, is More. And that's out right now. They can download all those songs. And I Know Right is now out.
I know right. I wish I was a singer.
Yes, I know, right?